Okay. Call to order the Annual Service Committee meeting for March 6, 2023. For motion to approve the agenda.
So,
Are there any corrections to the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Are there any public comments? Seeing none. Chris has left the building. Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that.
You're up.
Good morning, everybody. How are
Good
you?
morning.
That phone call was just part of first thing I was going to talk about. I have an elevator update. TK started 2 weeks ago, and up to this point, I shouldn't need to say this, but everything that has happened is gone perfect. It's been nothing but good news. The main issue was with the jack being cased or not, and our entire 30-foot shaft was not only cased, it was double cased. It's concrete all the way down, and then there was a PVC type casing, and then the actual hydraulic jack was inside of that. And something interesting is all of the hydraulic we've been losing was all going inside of the jack. They pumped almost 70 gallons of hydraulic out of the center of the stainless jack. So nothing was going anywhere but in there. It couldn't have worked out better. And I asked them what would have happened eventually, and they said, well, you were getting close to filling up, so here, and probably at some point this year, it would have started leaking out somewhere, and it would have been a heck of a mess. But that was very good news, because that was part of the issue. They're going to have to bring in a drilling company if there was a mess underground and whatnot. We knew this ahead of time, but like I said, it's been going really well. All of the material for the new jack is sitting outside, and they're starting the reinstall of that today. And I can give you another update on that as things happen. A tree update. That's been a common theme here. Talk about our trees, and I'll give this to you to pass around if anyone cares to glance at it. Thad over at Soil and Water did a survey of the tree line out here, tested the soil types and recommendations and whatnot. And with all that being said, I ordered 50 trees, and it's a mix of white pines, Norway spruce, and blue spruces. And all of that, it was right around $200. They come in bare roots, groups of 10. And his spacing recommendations and everything are in there, and I was just following that. So those, I believe the end of April they come, because the deadline, I think, is April 1st for getting in on this. So that's good news. Let's see what else here. A couple inspections. We had Metro Power come do service on all 3 generators for the buildings, and it was a full service this time, where they do oil change and things like that. Getz is coming to recertify all of our fire extinguishers tomorrow. Tomorrow's fire extinguisher day. And doing a lot of service. I think I brought this up last month. I bought a service kit for the Bobcat, filters and all the fluids and everything. And I'm doing the same thing with all the equipment in the shed this coming month. I've already started, but that's why there's so many claims for fluids and filters and things of that nature. Question for you folks, over at the animal control, with the air conditioner issue going on and the mini split that we're unsure of, when do you guys want me to have someone come take a look and at that stuff to possibly, should we wait another month? Do you want to do it now while we're ahead of the game? What do you think?
Get on somebody's schedule,
Okay.
and then they can get a hold of you when the weather, I mean, like today wouldn't be too bad checking some of that stuff out,
Right.
but it could turn cold again.
I did see coming up here, supposed to get a little below average for the next 2, 3, possibly 4 weeks. But
I'd rather just tell them, hey, we need to get this on the schedule, and then let them kind of work it in instead of having to call them and say, hey, we need this next week.
give them a heads up. And I was gonna talk about mowing over there as well, but that's not an issue for months to come. That's about all I have, guys. This, pretty good month maintenance wise, no huge issues or anything. I want to, usually in March, weather permitting, when the ground decides it's gonna be frozen or not, I need to get around, there's a lot of limbs down. Actually, a lot came down just with this snow we had on Friday. Get all that cleaned up before the mower people start showing up, and there's a lot of trash around, and I'd like to get that cleaned up as well, but hopefully I can get done this month. And that's about all I have. If you have any questions for me.
I don't see any, so thank you.
All right.
County farm management issues.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I did speak with Dave Johnson about the pilot project, and we're kind of getting on the same page. We both agreed that probably would happen when the crop isn't growing. So he wasn't aware that Hendricks got the bid, so we're, but he knows Hendricks and Bo, Storm, and it's all good so far. We're just kind of waiting on Hendricks.
Did we have to talk to Crabtree too?
He will talk to him, yeah. Dave Johnson is the spokesman for him.
He's a tenant,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, okay, yeah, I forgot that, and we did.
I did, at one point in time, did speak with Joe, and he said to refer every communication to Dave, so he didn't really want to be bothered with it.
We got our rent check in $151,038.60.
Say that again, please.
151,038.60.
Is that half?
Huh?
Is that half?
No, that should be all of it.
Oh, okay. I just wondered.
It was dated March 1st, which would be when it was due, so. Which, something like that, I'd wait till the last day to pay it too.
Yeah.
We got, well, last month we got paid for
Do you have some bills for me, Amanda? I was just curious what the bottom line was in the farm account right now. Does it show on there?
The bottom line of what, Donna?
What's in the, farm line?
County fund, or county farm?
Yes.
County farm has a balance of $109,304.84. But I do not believe that that check has been deposited
I
yet.
hope not.
Well,
What?
I don't think that the treasurer's office had taken it to deposit quite yet, but it's in their safe.
Well, we got bid letting later, but anything else on county farm management? Okay. Discussion and action on Iroquois County Board resolution in support of Iroquois County agriculture.
I brought this resolution to this committee to present to the county board, and the reason is that we haven't passed a resolution for a while yet supporting agriculture, and it's good to all get on the same page as far as our support for agriculture, with the new election and the new people on the board. So.
Now, has Brian looked at it? Okay, he went through it.
And, so it's, so anyway,
So who's this directed to?
well, it will probably be, if the county board approves it, probably be sent to the governor, wouldn't it? Amanda?
It could go to whoever, I mean,
Yeah.
in the past, it's been sent to the governor and our reps or to all the reps, you know, it just depends on
Mhm.
who you want it to go to.
Okay,
And that would be something, I would say, at the full board meeting, you can make that decision, you know, maybe talk to Brian and see what she thinks would be the most effective way to.
okay. Who to present it to or ship it to, or do you have it? Okay.
And I assume you've all seen the article that Iroquois County second in the nation in corn production?
Yeah, corn, yeah. And so it's pretty surprising, not surprising, but, you know, it's nice to see that recognition.
I think it's pretty impressive. Second in the nation, not in the state, in the nation.
Who's first?
I was gonna say, who beat us?
McLean
County.
Yeah.
Go do donuts in their cornfields.
Yes, Mr. Sure.
If you want copies of this sent to anybody such as the governor, that needs to be included as a part of the resolution.
Okay.
And if you're gonna make a motion today to approve that and send it to the county board, that should be included as well, so that when the board votes on that, it's all included in it already. When this resolution gets to Brian, she's gonna have to modify it a little bit anyway, but that will be included if that's what you wish.
That was kind of my concern. I mean, it's great, but it doesn't say where it's going or who you're directing it to.
Right.
I read it and I can't remember. Does it say, and whereas in 2023, Iroquois County was second in the nation in corn production? And
No.
whereas,
No, that's not included in there.
would you like to include it?
I don't think it's necessary.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, there's a lot of statistics in there that, you know, have just been accumulated from the Census of Agriculture, and they're current, and so, and, you know, they said, one of the 38% of total jobs in the county.
Right.
The Farm Bureau kind of estimates that as kind of low, you know, that's a good chance that's a low estimate. Yeah. Oh, I'll make the motion that we send this to the county board and that,
With the modifications
Of-
of adding
send it,
recipients and whatever modifications that Brian.
thinks D's necessary, yeah.
I'll second that motion.
I don't think we need a roll call on this. So all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Let's go to Brian and then the board. Discussion on animal control building and more. Mr. Sure has the floor.
Before we start, if we're gonna be talking about money issues and offers and things like that, do we wanna go into executive session for that?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
If we get to that point, we can always decide.
Have a seat.
There's nothing new on the animal control building, I just haven't had time to follow up on that. I've gotten roped into something with this flood conference up in Kankakee this coming Friday. It's taken a lot more of my time than I anticipated it would, but after Friday, why, I'll breathe a sigh of relief and maybe we'll get some of this stuff going again. But at the meeting last month, it was decided to extend an offer to Mr. Caper for his building. And what I chose to do was to submit that to him with this letter. I put it in the form of a commercial real estate agreement. And I included these property listings. And I gave all that information to Mr. Devine for him to review as well. And the reason I did that is because I thought that this would give him an opportunity to study this over and so forth.
Yeah.
So I was finally able to get this back from Mr. Devine last Friday. I immediately submitted it to Mr. Caper. His response, I'll read to you. He sent me a text message. Hi, John, thank you for extending the county's offer. At that price, I understand that countering would not bring us to an agreement. I appreciate the interest though, and I'm glad to have met you.
The end.
That's it. So, the real estate offer that I extended to him actually expires on this coming Friday. So, I mean, if you want to say that he may change his mind, and I guess that possibility perhaps still exists, but at this point in time, I'm rather frustrated that we couldn't even have some discussion with him about the price part of it, but so be it, that's the way he is. And I guess part of it is, also plays into the fact that he was not advertising the property for sale. When somebody is doing that, they're probably usually more likely to negotiate and make an agreement on the thing, as opposed to somebody coming to him out of the blue and saying, hey, I want your place, and so forth. So, all that being said, I guess that puts us back to square one on this project. And my thought is that maybe we should start anew and begin to scour all of the possibilities again, rethink everything. But I'm certainly open to thoughts and ideas that any of you have.
Oh, to build a new board ourselves.
Well,
No,
I mean, you can look at any possibilities you want, John. I'm open to anything at all that the committee would like to do. I think that some of the things that we established before, such as trying to locate here in Watsika, has a lot of merit to it. On the other hand, I don't think that is necessarily 100% an absolute, but certainly this seems to be something that provides for a lot smoother and easier operation of that function of county government.
I do know that there's a vacant building, and I don't even know if it's for sale. The gentleman that owned it just passed away. And I don't even know if it'd be suitable, but it does have the door, I know that. It does have
Where is it?
in Milford.
It's in Milford?
It's close to the business district. It would be south of Main Street, a block or two.
Okay. Maybe,
I brought up a,
Should I could make informal inquiry and get yes or no and come back. Or give you a call.
Who was up next? I mean, do we have any in Watsika that we already have looked at?
the only other place in Watsika that we've considered thus far is the building that we bought for animal control.
Oh, yeah,
Which has room there, but the fact that it's in the floodplain is
yeah.
a concern.
There's so many vacant buildings on
Mr. Chairman.
Watsika.
Yes.
I brought up to you the other, the option of the copper putt is for sale, and it doesn't look like it has a door, but it's framed inside for a big garage door. So you might want to look at that building.
Do you know price?
Not right off the hand, I don't know, but it's less than Mr. Caper's. And I can look into it and see what he's wanting. We
Are there a lot
won't
of-
want to pay what he's offering.
Well, and I think what both of you are saying, and I think is significant here, at least to some extent, is that the whole real estate market in this area seems to be somewhat fluid. It's constantly changing, new opportunities present themselves, and my feeling at this point in time is that while I think we all understand and appreciate the position that we're in and that the coroner is in, by the same token, I don't think our backs are against the wall. And that rather than being forced into something that we not really would like to have, maybe we're better to try and seek something out that does fit our situation. I think that's partly how we came to this one with Locksmith Building, was that, you know, it was not on the market, but it looked like an opportunity, and I think that was a good thing that we approached it the way we did, but
And I'm a firm believer in when it doesn't work out, it's not supposed to be, and there is a piece of property that will fit our needs and is probably better for us out there.
Yeah, this is not the end of the world.
no, I just think we all need to be in agreement and understand what we're
Yes.
what we're looking at or how we wanna proceed.
We can keep looking and have Bill advise us along the way if it would be suitable for him as we're looking at things.
And I did ask one of the Mavis members, you know, we gave them quite a bit of money, ARPA gave them, and it's in Crescent City. And is there any extra room? They've already started having classes there and they're using all of it, so.
Like I said too, it's always entirely possible. Mr. Caper has demonstrated to me that he changes his mind on the turnover.
I concur.
I mean, he may completely decide with it, and even after this Friday, he may suddenly say, hey, you know, I've thought about it some more.
We let him come to us if that's the case.
Alexander's Lumber has he got a for sale sign
Yeah.
over there in the courthouse.
Which one?
Alexander's Lumber,
That's a lot of building.
that's a
Yeah.
lot of building.
A lot of storage there.
Yeah,
Well,
Chris will be moving his stuff there.
this is the one thing we
No
gotta
line.
be real careful about. I mean, there's other buildings in Watsika available that are big buildings. And I think it's a mistake for us to get into something that's too big. Because if you don't utilize the space, you're inviting all kinds of problems in that vacant space that are gonna come back to haunt you. So I do think that's one of the, because there's another building towards the west end of Watsika, where a chicken place that's
It
available
gets,
as
it gets
well.
pretty wet there.
That's a big building.
Yeah.
But that's too big for what we would want. And I don't think we have enough other needs to really occupy that. That was even a concern with the Locksmith Building, if we'd be able to fully occupy that building. So that's where we're at. I guess unless somebody has any objection, we'll continue the search. And I think encourage everybody involved to keep your eyes and ears open. If you come across opportunities such as in Milford, let me know. I'll be happy to go take a look at it, or we can schedule the whole committee, however seems appropriate, or both, but.
Do you have any other thoughts or input, Bill?
I'm just looking here on, the Copper Pot, they're asking 149.9. And then I don't know, I haven't been by it and I don't know if it can be turned over, but, here it is. 115,000, that would be for Gailey's Eye Clinic, which is suspect.
Really?
I don't know if that's flooded or not, but I mean, and I don't know if, you know, something can be done. There's gotta be a lot of rooms in there for examining rooms that would have to be tore out and stuff like that, but, that'd be the only two that, I just looked on my phone real quick.
That are listed.
That's listed, yes, yeah, that's listed.
That's not a bad deal.
That's behind the marathon station.
Yeah,
But how far's the flood come up?
I don't know, I think that's it.
Well, That'd be a question.
Now it's time to look. I just went to try to get to the park out there, they're shutting it down.
Really?
Yeah, it's closed.
Marathon Station has never been, I don't know if it's in the floodplain, but it's never gotten any water.
It would be, is it right across from,
I think it's come up to Seventh Street. Sixth Street and Seventh Street is where the water's come in down there.
that's 9. I
Gately's
think
on
that's
8th
9.
8th Street.
Huh?
Gately's on 8th Street,
Is it on 8?
or Chittick, or whatever they go by, however they identify it.
Funny, we used to own that building, the county did, that was part of the that's the health department. They
You
gave,
know, now there's kind of a little bell going off in the back.
yes, my mom worked down there.
Wonder what we sold it for.
I don't know. We owned that building.
Well, Jenny owns it, that's it, they negotiate too.
Yeah,
They went
because,
into town.
That was,
The building on Third Street is where the health department was.
but this is even
Before that.
you have to go back to his mom, when she was,
back in the 70s.
When he was born.
well,
No.
not that
She rode it on a horse.
Well, if
That
you
was,
come up with,
the health department was located in that building.
if you come up with any buildings or whatever, you direct them to John. And him and Bill can discuss it and get us a report for the next meeting.
Keep looking.
And if there's something that comes up to be a real hot prospect that we need to jump on, we can always have a special meeting.
Even buildings that may not be for sale, if you think they'd be an ideal spot, I hesitate to go. If you know the owner or know somebody about it.
We're gonna lean on them and
You
send,
never know what
Send
people
somebody
might
to
be
rough
thinking
them up.
about.
That's when, way a little money at it, they get excited.
That's why I say he may, he got back to me awful quick.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I put it together the way I did was so that he would have something in front of him to think about.
Yeah.
He may have torn it up and thrown it in a wastebasket, I really don't know, but hopefully he didn't, and if he's gonna mull it over and think about it, he may have second thoughts, but whatever.
I think if he was genuinely interested in selling, he would have made even a high counter offer.
Nothing.
I certainly think we made a more than fair offer to him. In fact, my opinion was it was higher than what it should have been. But, everybody said that's what to do, and I was willing to go along with it. That's not a problem at all, but obviously his thoughts and our thoughts are.
Far apart. And I just wanna bring up again the issue of, and our offer was more than fair, based on the comps and the square footage and everything else, our offer was more than fair. Is that we've just come off of this truth and taxation hearing.
Yes.
And even at our offer, and on a commercial piece of property, as the county is contributing to that problem by paying more for a building than what it's appraised at, or what it's, the assessed at is the word I'm looking for. So, we would be contributing again to that problem, so I'd really like to see us pay,
Fair Valley.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
thank you.
Did we have, Chris was asking about the air conditioners, is there anything else we need to know about over at the animal control building? That topic?
The only other thing I have is, I had talked to Chris about assisting me with the outdoor fencing. I'm gonna get him some specs together, and he's gonna help me out with contractors since he has way more than I have. And we'll see about getting that put out for bid so we can get a fence up this summer. The other thing is I am looking at purchasing a couple of indoor kennels, larger ones. We seem to get mostly larger dogs, and there's only 5 indoor runs there. And we do have some larger cages that we've been utilizing, but it's just not enough room if they're there 24 hours a day for them to be able to have a little bit of room. So I am looking at purchasing two to put in the back room where there is concrete on the floor and there are drains back there. I haven't decided which ones to purchase yet, but that's something I'm looking at doing.
Still have a fence over there at the daycare.
There
It's
is,
not tall enough.
yeah, it's,
It's what?
It's not tall enough.
Yeah.
Nope, the kennel, kennel rules and regulations, it has to be at least 6 feet. And if it is at 6 feet, they do, it's not required, but they insist on it having some sort of roofing, so the dogs can't jump. We have some jumpers.
Yeah. They don't like to be there.
That's why they got escaped in the first
if,
place.
if
We got some escapers, yeah.
if we get the kennels on the outside, do those have to have concrete floors?
No, there's some alternate flooring, but I would like to do a little more research. I just haven't had a whole lot of time right now to research that out, but,
I just remember the one person with the kennel license.
yeah, there's some options, so you have to read through the ordinance and, get together with Bob just to make sure, but, I mean, it would be ideal if we could do something like that, but I know it's also more costly, so, we'll check out our options and see what we can come up with.
Chris can get a wheelbarrow, a shovel, and a couple bags of Sacrite.
Well, I mean, yeah, just add it on your list, that's all. But yeah, that's about it, just looking at some kennels and then looking at some fencing.
For the dog run, right?
Because that Chris can walk them every day.
Well, I'm looking to get 2 indoor kennels.
Yeah.
Yeah, to put in the back area where they used it for grooming. It's all concrete back there and there's drains.
Yeah.
We just need a couple more larger runs because I'm averaging about 7 to 8 dogs right now.
What about the dog run outside? Is that, what are we doing?
That's what I'm talking about with the fencing is putting in
Outside.
the outside fence just so that they could get a little bit of exercise. Right now, they're still walking them on leashes and just cleaning up after them as they walk, but
How many animals do you have out there?
you know what? You caught me on a good day. We have one.
One.
We have one right now. We went from being completely full, I had 9, to over the past 7 to 9 days, they've all been placed or reclaimed, and I have 1 right now.
Do you know who owns it?
What?
Do you know who owns it?
No, it was
Stray?
it was straight. We got called by a landlord, somebody left it in a rental house, so.
How about cats?
Which is so sad. You know, we've had pretty good luck with cats. We're very picky on what cat calls we do assist in and take, but for the most part, iCare is very good about taking our cats.
Okay.
So we have pretty good luck with the cats and not having to keep them very long.
One thing I'm concerned about is not having a sign out front. I mean, are people able to find you with no sign in front?
Well, we took that sign down, I think, while you were on vacation.
Well, we took the animal hospital sign down. We haven't decided on putting any sort of signage out there for now. And if we do have an animal that needs to be reclaimed or whatnot, it's on Facebook on how they can get a hold of somebody. It's also on the paperwork that the officers leave at the door. It's on our website.
Yeah.
So if they need to reclaim an animal, the officer usually tells them where to go.
Yeah.
Instead of outwardly kind of saying, hey, this is our building, because we don't really have anybody that stays there 24 hours. So, less advertising for,
No, they just,
We need to get that up.
potential, hey, let me
Well,
get in there and
she's saying-
snatch and grab what I can.
question.
I'm
I'm not sure what was.
But we can put up a sign. I mean, that's up to me.
Should have it
It's
pretty soon.
It's on Facebook and other, in the paper.
You used the word placed.
Mhm.
What, I understood that we do not rehome
Mm-mm.
as a liability issue.
We do not adopt out, no. We're not
So
a
what
rescue, we
is-
don't adopt out. We place with several, and we've gotten actually quite a few more contacts with rescues. We have had to drive a bit further to get them placed, but they're taking dogs, so it is what it is. It's one of those you do if you're either gonna pay to have them euthanized and taken care of, or you're gonna pay to have a little bit of mileage to get them possibly rehomed.
So you're giving them to other,
Rescues or fosters.
okay, good. Glad we clarified.
We don't charge. We're not charging for anything. We're not a rescue. We don't adopt them out.
Does every dog qualify for rescue, or are there some that are ill-tempered that you?
Knock on wood, I've only had to put 1 down since I've been appointed, and I don't know how long that's been, 2-3 years already. But, right, I think going on 3 this summer. Anyway, so I've only had to put one down and he was extremely aggressive and he actually did bite somebody. It was not provoked, anything like that, so we had to
You
put him
can't rehome
down.
a dog that's gonna be aggressive and wanna bite.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky. We really haven't had too many that have been, most of their issues have been a lot of shell shock, a lot of unsure about humans because, I mean, this dog we just got, their owners just left. They rented the place for 3 years according to the landlord, had the dog the whole 3 years. They just left him there. I mean, that's hard on their psyche, so most of the time we spend a week with them, getting them back to trusting people and things like that, and their true colors come out and they're just fine. So, I've had one, but that's about it.
Have we had any luck or need for a vet to come?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know, anytime that the health committee with animal control or anybody, any of the board members wanna help out with vets. You know, we're having to use Lowell, Indiana for an emergency vet, because it's either that or Champaign, and Champaign is way more expensive. You know, I can get an appointment with, say, Doc Malazzo or Kentland or something, but it's always gonna be at least 3 weeks out. So, you know, it would be nice to have something going on. Doc Joe is, no, she won't do anything with county stuff.
What about,
And I think she's on her way out anyway, she's a little older, I think she's, you know, getting ready to.
what about, and I'm sure you've looked into this, it's just a question, what was with the Gilman vet?
Again, getting an appointment with her is about 3 weeks out, she's pretty busy, I haven't had any further conversations with her. It would, you know, again, I'm asking if, you know, one of the board members would like to have that discussion with her, that would be probably more impactful than with me,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Vets are hard to find.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Alright, well, we'll move along. Discussion and action on bid letting. So we have fertilizer, natural gas, waste disposal, and mowing is not until next year now? Is that what we decided?
Well, the mowing, it was passed on February 9th, 2021 for a 3-year contract with Halls for $11,675 a year. I think it normally needs to go on the January.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're okay until January.
Yeah.
Cause they're good for this year. The only thing that we may wanna talk to them about is maybe if they wanna take on animal control, or what did we do last year?
Nothing, because
Something, we bought it after.
it was, yeah, it never needed mowed.
Well, we could talk to them, they can shoot us a price.
Yeah,
I mean, if you get,
and going forward next January, it'll be included with our bid packet, but
right, if we get the kennels up, there's not gonna be much yard there.
no, it's not.
No.
And the building is gone, right, that, or is it still there, that little shed?
It's still there.
Are we keeping it, or?
And right now, with the officers have it pretty well emptied out, so,
Is it, what kind of shape is it in? Is
I
it,
don't
it's in
It's in
decent
pretty good
shape?
shape.
yeah,
I think
mean,
it
it's
could be
not hurting
moved
anything, so-
easily, I think, with the, forks or something. It's just one of those like yard barn type things, right?
Is it wood or metal?
It's wood.
Mhm.
It's a shingled wood little shed.
Is there a place that we would have a use for it, or is it something that,
Not really. I mean, I've just looked for stuff to stuff in it, probably not.
Salt or
No, I've got all that in the shed. There's plenty of room in there. I'm thinking my backyard would be a nice spot.
Good shot, well done.
how big is your backyard?
We are trying to,
400 feet.
well, I'm working on trying to get like a wholesale dog food. So it'd be like 50 cents out the pound is what I'm working on right now. I probably wouldn't wanna keep that outside, but,
Well, if you have a use for it, that's
any
fine.
cages or crates or whatever, it's not hurting anything sitting there, but
Okay.
if we have other uses for it, that's fine.
I just didn't know how
have
big
any
your
either.
outdoor kennel area was gonna be, if that would interfere with the way you wanted to lay it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'll have to see what we can do out there with the fencing, cause there isn't a lot of room.
We might get down to being able to just weed whack it. We might move the boat.
Alright,
get it go.
so,
permanent resident.
Do we have a motion to put out these, the fertilizer, the natural gas and the waste disposal for bid?
Do we need to review any of the specs for any of them? Or do we just say do it?
Well, waste disposal will include the animal control. They're already somebody's already picking up over there, right? So it would, so you would have, and you know.
It's the same, this KK disposal is the same that we use right now. I have them picking up twice a month right now, and they're charging us $55, so.
So if it just gets included as a site.
Yeah, I don't know if it would go down if we included it under a contract, I don't know. It's got it up and running for now, because we weren't ready.
I would expect that most contracts are probably gonna go up, and I don't see the
Probably.
price of fuel coming down.
Natural gas will go up.
Fertilizer is
No,
a
he's-
pass-through, so. But, yeah, the fertilizer company said, hey, you guys didn't bid yet, did you? It's like, no, I guess we need to do that. So, is there a motion?
If it's
I make
tight.
the motion to put out for bid the fertilizer, utilities, natural gas, and the waste disposal.
I second that.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes,
Aaron's,
Yes. Okay, review smart lot centric, loan progress. That's quick paper she brought in. Now, we're into the 5th year.
Just a second. Oh, never mind, go ahead.
So we're into the 5th year, and I know originally when we did it, we were supposed to be able to pay it off early, and then they said, no, you can't, because something changed in the paperwork in the meantime. But after 5 years, they said we could start paying extra. Now, that first year, we had, I think of $50,000 that was supposed to
If
get
you-
set aside.
Take a look at the sheet that I had, that Amanda so nicely copied for me. The top half is our schedule for our bond debt services, and on the very right-hand side, I added a column that says paid and when those were paid. So if you take a look under that, what we have is the original 2019 Smart Watt payments, which totaled $913,856. We did receive rebates from Ameren of $9,721.55, which were to be paid to Smart Watt, which then we turned around and cut a check to Smart Watt for that same amount. So we're looking at the $913,856. And then from BB&T Government Finance, which is what the loan to pay Smart Watt was for. It was originally received for $647,498. We've paid 4 years worth of payments on that, and they're listed on there. The additional payment that we had set aside to be paid in 2026 was $43,410.20, which leaves us with a balance of $407,372.44. We did receive 2 grants from the state of Illinois for the chiller. They both totaled together $160,000. And then the Smart Watt Centrica report that we've been getting, their savings verified report. So far, the 2020 was showing $39,755. 2021, a savings of $52,680, and 2022, $55,669, which comes to $148,104. To verify that, we've went back and forth on how to actually do that. I don't think any of us have kind of come up with a good way to do that unless I pull all the bills going back previous years and take a look at how much we've actually used versus what the current cost, anyway, so long story short, yes, there was $43,410.20 that we can additionally pay in 2026.
You just wanna make sure that is an additional payment, and that somebody doesn't try to say, well, we got a tight budget, we'll just use this as our payment.
Mhm.
it was set aside and the motion was made to pay it as an
Mhm.
additional payment.
And that is coming out of the general fund, so.
So our current balance due is $510,492.95. That will be the amount, is that correct, Joe?
I'm including the additional payment that we have set aside, so with that, on that second box on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's $407,372.44.
407,000, okay.
And the payment has not been made yet for 2023, those payments are due in September.
I see, that's where I'm getting that number from.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
af-
see, you got this, so this is considering, okay.
Yeah. So currently done it with the 4 payments we've made and the additional we have set aside, we currently owe $407,372.44. After September, I will make that payment of, what is it, $53,579.
Yes,
So we'll be about $350,000,
we're doing well.
give or take approximately.
Okay,
Scrape up any more money to get it paid off, it'd be nice.
After 2026, we can probably do something, we'll take a look at it.
Alright. Everybody should have gotten the claims. Are there any questions on the claims?
yeah. You first, Paul. That's the only loan that we have that we're paying on, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just because I like to point this out. We paid Hiltz again, we're paying them real regularly for septic and grease trap, but we also jetted the wash pit, that's, I'm assuming that's $480 this time.
Yes.
Corrector. I know. And then,
That's in the deputy's garage, that has nothing to do with the jail.
oh, the whole thing, the grease, that one.
The grease
that
trap's
thing?
from the jail kitchen,
Okay,
and the other thing is from the inmates that he has to pump out. But then the additional on there was the deputy's garage,
right.
they wash their vehicles in there, that goes into another pit. And about once a year, that gets plugged up with mud and all kinds of things, and he pumped that out and jetted that as well.
Right, and I think that's what I was trying to say, I realized the whole amount
Gotcha.
wasn't just for the jail this time.
Right.
I'm a little surprised at the amount of the Ameren bill at the animal control building, $606. And it's neither critical nor, I'm just surprised that it's that much, thinking that we could keep the temps a little lower over there. And the lights off as much as we're not.
What are you looking at, I'm sorry, Donna?
The Ameren bill for the animal control building,
Sweet Amber.
yeah, 440, animal control page. $606.58.
Oh, and the reason for that is, I have an explanation. We weren't getting billed. The bills were going directly to Dr. Yusuf still, and we weren't seeing those, so after some very large hoops and many different hurdles we had to jump, finally got it all situated. So yes, that is for the entire time we've owned the building.
Okay.
So that is
sounds much
dating
better.
back to November, yeah. So it is the total payment for, since we have taken over, so that we can, now we will be getting a monthly bill, so.
It just didn't seem like we should have a monthly bill that high.
No, absolutely not. No,
Yeah,
and you're right to question it, I had an answer, so
well, I'm
I
glad
just,
I asked.
I kind of forgot about it. So yes, it is high, but it is for the entire time we've owned it, since there was an issue with that.
Okay,
I would be more than happy to continue not paying it, but I'm pretty sure you want somebody to pay it, so.
All right, any other questions on any of the bills? Seeing none? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept claims.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Bowers,
Yes.
Spence.
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Greenwald,
Yes.
Barron.
Yes. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
We'll make
All the hands go up there. All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Man, that was quick.
I thought it looked like there was a lot on the agenda, I thought
Yeah.
we might go.
Yeah.
I got John.
Yeah.
And last month, it didn't look so crowded, but we were here.